My people, they are burning places in Bamenda. I jumped on TikTok tonight to engage with our people to find out why Bamenda is involving itself in this crisis, clamoring Issa Churuma Bakari. The response I got was shocking. Some say they want Seseko Ayoktabe be released. That is why they are out there burning places. That is why they support that idea. And that got me thinking. Some called me a CPDM man. That I'm working with Emmanuel and Sila. If this is how we live in society, that you hear someone speak, they've never admitted that they are working with this individual, and then you label them. If I had to think that way about you, my brother, you will not exist on earth. Because sometimes you see individuals that are called for a mission and you think that they are not humans. If I have to think that way about you, you will not exist. That anyone that I see you with, I just assume that this is the kind of human being you are. What kind of a society is that? If Issa Churuma Bakari was the president of Cameroon at the time I wrote this book, The Cameroon Dream, came up with the CSDP project to clamor for the same thing that you guys are pushing for now. You did not support this. That is what I was fighting for all this while. That we can push for an economic project, 20 years economic project that can move this entire country forward. You fought me. You rejected the idea. Something is wrong. Either you hate yourself, hate your own people, something is off. You rejected this idea. Now today you want to carve me and put me into a CPDM box. And then now you are enlightened. Following Issa Churuma Bakari. You won't play that game with me. You understand what I'm saying? You guys won't play that game with me. In 2008, President Barack Obama was the president of America. A democratic president. If I wanted to do a deal with America, I have to go through Barack Obama. If we want a civilized war, let's start thinking like individuals that desire that kind of society. Now in 2025, if I want to do a deal with America on behalf of our people, I will go through President Donald Trump, and he's a member of a Republican Party. So what you are coming into is what I'm coming out of. It took you people 9 years, and one man came out of the same system, promising that he will release the prisoners, not letting you go to have your own nation, but just releasing prisoners, and you're breaking and burning things within your community. Let's use our brain, because after this they'll call us Anglophiles again. My people, all we need, from what I have understood, because if I did all this research, like study in-depthly, right up to this place, and then I realized these people, it's not just Bamea, because I interacted with the people in this country in a way most won't. If it was just Bamea, this country will be fine. The Francophones will never see you the same way. As equals. We've lived out here. If you ask, what kind of country is Cameroon? They will tell you it's a French country. Even Francophones out here will tell you that. Then I've done the studies. Even our compatibility with those in the Southwest is questionable. They don't see us as equals. They call you come, no go. They've drawn the line and set a distinction. And when I point this out, people say, oh, you are the one causing divide and rule. No, I'm just presenting to you what I'm seeing. The people's behavior in the real world. And then you flip it around and say, I'm the one saying it. Are you blind? My people, what has happened to us? What has really happened to us? This was the time to pursue your victory to the end. And now you make a mistake to join that system and you say you were Ambazonia and now you're clamoring Isa Churuma Bakari. Who are you? You are legally not a citizen of La République du Cameroon. And that is what I realized through studies. The resolution 1608 was clear. Without a ratified union treaty, you are not a legal citizen of La République du Cameroon. And not even voting for Isa Churuma Bakari will make you a citizen of Cameroon. By law. Because we live in a world governed by laws. Going on TikTok tonight, I was shocked to hear how our people think. And you ask the question, why does God allow wars? When people don't obey, God allows war for purification. It purifies the human race so that those who are rebellious and leading others astray will be wiped out through that process. And there are others that will listen to me and yet still go out. Whatever that war was designed for will purify the people in that area. And you, who have been on this platform all this while, get yourself ready, because you will be teachers that will be teaching civic education for the United Kingdoms of Tikar. I studied the behavior of our Southwest counterparts, and I realized that we are not compatible. Then I dive deep into our history and realize we were never one like that. Britain stitched us together. And you can't force a people to become brothers. This is where we find ourselves. Then I'm realizing that we migrated from Sudan to the Bamenda Highlands. As a people, our ancestors had the intention to set up a civilization, not be lumped or forced into a union without consent. You can't govern a people without consent. And this is time for us, since we still have this UN trust status, with no ratified union treaty, we can restore a nation that we can be proud of. And not keep making the same mistakes again and again. If Isa Churuma chooses to release the prisoners, of which we are planning to push for that after we restore our nation, it is a good thing to do, even without you voting for them. It will help take out this curse from their land as well. I wrote this book, The Cameroon Dream. My goal was simple. For 9 years, we have been in pain. Our leaders have been captured and locked up in jail. How can this 20 years economic plan move this entire nation forward so that Anglophones can have a place in this country? My goal was to negotiate with that president so that our brothers and sisters who have been locked up in jail can be released and we respected in this country. That is why I wrote this book. Coming in Looking at the Ambazonian movement, everything disorganized. Our place in shambles. And you did not stand for this vision. It's just like the president of the United States of America. In 2008, if I wanted to negotiate a deal with the president of the United States of America, I would have done that with Barack Obama. He comes from the Democratic Party, but he was the president of the United States of America at that time. Today, if I want to negotiate another deal with the president of the United States of America, that will be with Donald Trump. He is from the Republican Party. So regardless of who is president in Cameroon, if we have to negotiate for the prisoners to be released, for an economic idea to be accepted, it will be with the current president of Cameroon. You reject it. Something is wrong somewhere. Now, after understanding that the people in this country are not compatible, I decided to back out, knowing they will never accept you in this country. After 9 years, I understood everything that was going on in this country within 2 years, and I stepped out. Today, Issa Churuma comes from the same government. You've forgiven him, and you're going out to protest that he will negotiate with you. Bring all the prisoners out and have a conversation. And you're destroying your city because of that. So where I have left, that is where you're going into now. After I have realized this won't work, that is where you're going in now. So how long will it take you to get to where I am right now at the United Kingdoms of Tikar? Wake up. You are destroying your own city. And those who have been in Bamenda all this while, be mindful of those who left Douala, Yaoundé, and other parts of Cameroon coming into Bamenda to cause chaos. Because the corruption in this country is a reflection of the people. The corrupt leaders is a reflection of the people. And those in Bamenda that hate themselves so much, if I, coming out of Bamenda, born and raised in Bamenda, if I can't speak to the people of Bamenda and they hear me and they believe in Issa Churuma Bakari, God will allow these people to be purified over time. And some will have to go through wars, sickness, and many other ways. It will only be one of your own that genuinely cares about you will come to your rescue. There is no Cameroonian I'm yet to see that has done the depth of research that I have done to arrive where I am today. To help you understand that you do not need La République du Cameroun. You have been free since 1961. The resolution 1608 was clear that it acknowledges the plebiscite, but also 102 and specifically 76B stipulates that if you don't ratify a union treaty, this relationship is not legally binding. So all we have to do is unite, set up an administration, and have a country going. We don't need La République du Cameroun. And in that process, we get to negotiate, release the same prisoners you're clamoring for, rather than endorsing a system that will indicate to the entire war that you are being ruled by these people, and so enforces your subjugation and marginalization in this country. Francophones will never stop. They will never think as equals with you because you are not legally a Cameroonian. We live in a world governed by laws, not emotions. And this is what Ambazonians never explain to you. With this clarity, people can take action. There is no Anglophone that has explained this issue the way I have done. God raised people in a community to help that community. And when you reject that help, do not cry to God. Tomorrow, whatever happens to anyone that goes out to protest, brother, I will empathize, but I understand. I will not jump into your pain. Those who reject knowledge, God says he will reject you, reject your children and your children's children. This world walk by laws. Because you do not know that you are free. You don't understand the laws governing this geographical location. And you're making these mistakes. God will allow you to reap the consequences of this ignorance. And afterwards, we will bury you in peace, pray over your soul, and move on. So when people obey, God goes on to bless their land, show them the path, and they make progress. When they disobey, God allows all sorts of iniquity to visit them. Those who think that we need a lot of guns, if we needed guns, Ambazonia has proven to you that guns will not solve this problem. Guns alone will not solve this problem. But when there is a clear vision, weapons guide that vision. Not using guns as a way to achieve your objectives, but guns guiding a vision. This is wisdom. Do you understand? Obedience. God tested the children of Israel in Egypt multiple times before bringing them out of captivity. If you can't pass the test, you must go through the purification process. God had to test the children of Israel time again and again. He told them, kill a ram, take the blood, put on your doorpost, so that when the messenger of death comes at night, it will pass over your house. The people collectively, unanimously obeyed, and they were spared. They obeyed God. And so all of them came out without a scratch. When you disobey, you must go through the purification process. The human race has always been purified through wars. God allows that to happen because when humans refuse to reason, they will use brute force as the primary strategy to resolve disputes. Brute force follows thinking. Not thinking, following brute force. With a clear vision and understanding of this issue, even La République du Cameroon will know their limits. A message. Issa Churuma delivered a message. You didn't just go out to fight. There was a message that was delivered. You believed it. That is why you're doing what you're doing. I'll deliver the same message. You reject it. And then you want God to help you. My brother, you guys are starting from a place where I left. After careful studies, not emotion, not some politician, you are coming into where I am living. After 9 years of us collectively going through this crisis, I wasn't involved. In less than 2 years, I understood the entire system in Cameroon, and I decided to back off. Now you are going into it thinking it is something new. If you think Bamea is the problem, that is the biggest deception that you have been conditioned to believe. But time will tell. Time will tell. If the gods of the Tikar is awake, and if you are a descendant of Tikar, and you decide to enforce the ideas of a foreign government in this land, the gods of Tikar will speak. The gods of that land will speak. You walk on that soil, the gods of that land will speak. We didn't jump from the sky. We are a continuation of a heritage. The gods of that land will speak within a very short time. Those who are disobeying and going out on the streets to participate, that land, that ground, the rocks, the roads that you walk on will speak. I wish you the best. But those in Bamenda that have been following my program right up to this moment, stay in your homes. Do not participate in anything that they are doing. God will purify our race, and the best that obey will continue to build. And that is how this lineage, this heritage will continue. Whether you call it Issa Chiruma Bakari or Paul Biya, you are playing the same script that I was playing, and you fought me. You fought me online. Now you're doing the same thing and you're claiming, oh no, that was CPDM. The problem here is CPDM. You won't play that game with me. I understand exactly what you guys are doing. If you call yourself Ambazonia and you're clamoring Issa Chiruma Bakari, then you never understood the cause that you stood for. Let me make that clear. If you are clamoring Issa Chiruma Bakari and you were Ambazonia, you are a confused person and you never understood the cause that you stood for. So go back and watch all the videos that I've been putting on this platform for the past 10 days to have clarity. Because you go nowhere with this kind of thinking. I guarantee you. Time will tell. Time will tell. We are a continuation. Life never started with you. And we have lived in a society where people are opinionated. If the gods of the Tikar raised me and called me in this generation, took me through this process so I can understand what we are dealing with, that land that you walk on, the road that you walk on will speak. You can't play that game with me. I see what you guys are doing. You are all La Republic agents, disguising inside us and claiming that you were fighting Ambazonia. You are all La Republic agents. And now that further validates why I was skeptical about some of these Ambazonian leaders. You are all La Republic agents. But the God of the Tikar will prevail. And the truth is what will set us free. Whether you like it or not.